If you love Kent, you'll love this. Our first quiz trail was created in wonderful Rochester, and it set us off on a passion for sharing local history all across Kent and beyond. Here's a great story from Rochester. Charles Dickens was born in Portsmouth in 1812 to John and Elizabeth Dickens. The family moved to London 3 years later. From 1817 to 1822, John Dickens was posted to Sheerness, then to Chatham Royal Dockyard. During those years, John and his young son Charles would walk many miles around the area. In 1821, when Charles was aged 9, he walked with his father past the rather grand house of Gad's Hill at Higham, just outside Rochester. Charles really liked the look of the house, and his father said to him that if he were to be very persevering and work very hard, he might one day live there. And so he did. Charles Dickens buying the house in 1856 and moving there permanently in 1860. Today, Gad's Hill is a private school. In 1824, when Charles was just 12, John Dickens was arrested for his debts and sent to prison. Charles was sent to work in a factory, pasting labels onto shoe polish containers to provide money for the family. The factory was in the area of where Charing Cross Station now stands in London. Following Charles's grandfather's death, his father inherited enough money to pay off his debts, left prison, and was able to pay for Charles to have his final years of schooling. In 1833, when he was 21, Charles Dickens published his first story. 3 years later, he married Catherine, and they went on to have 10 children together. 22 years later, the marriage came to an end in 1858. Charles went on to have a long-standing romance with actress Ellen Ternan, he being 46 years old and she being 19. Ellen had been born in Rochester in 1839, but they had met through connections at the Haymarket Theatre in London whilst Ellen was performing. In 1865, the couple were caught out publicly together when they were on a train together which crashed at Staplehurst in Kent. June the 9th, 1870. Charles Dickens died at the age of 58. He wanted to be buried in Rochester. However, public opinion, led by the Times newspaper and with Queen Victoria's support, felt he should be buried in London. Following a quiet private funeral as requested by Mr. Dickens in his instructions, with some 12 mourners in attendance, he was buried in Poets' Corner in Westminster Abbey. People thereafter came in their thousands to the burial site to pay their respects. Each year a wreath is still laid on his grave, on the date of his birth. He left provision for both Catherine and Ellen in his will. Quiz trails are a fun activity. You go around and follow the trail. There are clues for adults and clues for juniors as well, and you all answer questions about things you see and discover all the fabulous local history that's all around us. They're for all ages, so all ages can do it together. You can go out on your own, go as a couple, in a group, great for family entertainment, low cost, healthy walk, zero carbon. All of our trails are accessible for wheelchair users and pushchair pushers, so everybody can enjoy the fun of a quiz trail. Order your quiz trails today at www.quiztrail.co.uk. Watch our other videos on our YouTube channel. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks. Bye.